USCB Sand Shark fans, welcome to another episode of USCB All-Access, your home for everything Sand Shark athletics. I'm Wes Kerr, and I'm joined today by the winningest head coach in USCB women's soccer history, Jay Harris. Jay, it's great to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on an outstanding season as you guys have finished up this fall 2023 campaign. Just start with looking back, perspective of what you guys accomplished this year.
I mean, it was a great year, obviously, in terms of numbers, but it was probably the best year just in terms of chemistry and experience, which, you know, is as important because you want everyone to walk away with a positive experience. I thought the year got off to, a slow start. We were picking up wins, but, it wasn't playing our best, which was excellent that we was able to pick up the wins. And we gained momentum. We really just got into the season, got into Peach Belt play. And, the Peach Belt is extremely competitive, so there's going to be some ups and downs, but in every single game we never got blown out by any team. We was in every game and we picked up some big wins. And ultimately, when you come to the end of the season, making postseason, tying, going out on penalties, it's disappointing, but it's the way it goes sometimes. And you look back, you can only have positive and good things to think about in our journey and say that it came to an end. And that's okay because I thought we gave everything and gave a great representation of what USCB women's soccer is about.
There's certainly some peaks and valleys, but you guys had a tremendous year, 13-4-2. Tell me about how you guys progressed. The second season in this transition period from the NAIA to Division II. How did you guys progress and really continue to go further on that track to becoming a successful program in this new conference?
Players win games and it's a testament to them. Obviously, getting the experience in the first year allowed us to get a good look at the level of the competition and the teams. We done a great job in the first year. If you look at it, we was only a couple of points away from finishing 7th place, so we done well in that year. Results just went differently, and that's how it can go sometimes, but we adapted amazingly in this second year. The players stepped up, the team put in some amazing performances. Like I always say, it's about the team and it's about their resilience and their quality that comes through in the moments that matter. Soccer games, it's 90 minutes long, but it's about moments. It's about moments and players taking advantage and someone stepping up at a certain time. And we've done an amazing job of that this year. Obviously, I think it's tougher than NAIA. The level is harder. There's better level across the board. So every single game, there's so much riding on it. And we've done a great job in just managing the season and going game by game, not getting carried away, kind of riding. You have the highs, but we really didn't get any lows. We really stayed positive and had the belief throughout the season that we could have a great season and do something that would last.
It was a fun season to be a Sand Shark soccer fan, especially at Finland Field, because you guys went a perfect 10-0. Just an awesome achievement. Speak to how you guys played on your home field and the fan support that helped get you guys to this mark.
You always have goals at the beginning of the year, but that wasn't one of them. 10-0 at home is unbelievable. You always want to do well at home, and we always have historically played well at home, but we've never been undefeated, let alone win every single game. But obviously, as the season went on and was picking up the wins, and it becomes a realistic target in my mind. It's not something that I ever really spoke about with the team to say we can do this the whole season. But as it went on, you kind of get halfway through and it's just one game at a time at home, and let's defend what we're about. But like I said, historically we have done well at home and we play well at home. We're very comfortable on our field, and our performances have shown that. And this year, like I said, I just think it all came together, not just our skill set, but the belief and the chemistry within the team. I thought we had an amazing group of young women who executed on the field and had great chemistry off of it.
It was a tremendous season at home and all around for this Sand Shark squad, and finishing in the top half of the table in the Peach Belt, a tremendous accomplishment, and giving it your all to the very end. Hard fought, Peach Belt tournament quarterfinal match that unfortunately ended the wrong way. Penalties, but really could have gone either way. Great response after giving up that first goal, able to tie it, force extra time, and then just didn't bounce your way in the end. But just talk about that fight and how they showed themselves on the road in a conference tournament game.
That was nothing new. For during the course of the season, if you look at our results, I mean, it started early on in the year where we really were down in the first couple of games. We were down 2-0 in our first home game at halftime. Came back and won 3-2. I think our first away game on the road, staying the night, we was down 2-0 or 1-0, and we came back and won 2-1 in the second half. So it wasn't anything new. We have the belief and a resilience within our team to know that we can grind, but we can also have the quality to win the game. So we never put our heads down. You understand that there's going to be times in games, there's ebbs and flows. You're going to have times where you're on the back foot a little bit. There's going to be times where you're on the front foot. You've just got to continue to believe. And this, like I said, this team has that. At no point did our heads ever went down at any point. And we knew we could do it from an early point in the season. And so in that game, you go down, it's not a problem. We just continue to play our game. And in the end, obviously we got that goal and we saw out extra time, and penalties can go either way. We practiced them. I thought we'd done a great job in the penalties. Their keeper made a couple of good saves, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But again, I'm just proud of what we was able to achieve, and I was proud of that game and the totality of the season in general.
Well, it was the end of an era, sending off a Sand Shark legend in Mari Colvin, finishing with 56 career goals. Just tell me about her legacy and what she has meant to this group and how fun it's been to coach her.
Mari came in only a year after I was here, so we've really been on this journey together in watching the program rise and elevate to new levels. She's obviously been a major part of that in pushing the level and helping us. And there's a lot of other players though that have along the way that have helped her and have helped this program. She's not the only one. She obviously has the records, which her name is always going to be in lights. But there's so many more people, and I don't want them to be overlooked because their input to this program might go unnoticed, but not to me and not to people that watch the games. So I'm extremely thankful for Mari's time here, because she's done an amazing job, and I think her name will forever be remembered in what she was able to achieve. But there's many more records to come.
Absolutely is, and there are so many more standouts on this team. It was a total 11-woman unit out there on the field. Talk to me about some of those depth players who really stepped up their scoring this year. I think the biggest takeaway of this season was how you're able to consistently find goals throughout the calendar year, throughout the Peach Belt schedule. So, just talk about that, how, so many other young women stepped up this year and were able to help put the ball in the back of the net.
I think everyone from back to front and the whole squad in general, of course, goals get headlines. So, and you can't get away from that. It's from the beginning of time, and it will carry on just like that. And so obviously, Mari's spearheaded our attack for the last 3 years. She entered as a defender and gradually moved up the field and has done an amazing job. She has a great feel for the game in finding pockets of space. A lot of what we do goes through her, either in an assist and important goals. But obviously Savannah does a great job in her sophomore year. She's phenomenal in the air. She has great awareness in her runs. Sin, again for the third year, done great in the assists. Sin might not be necessarily a true goal scorer, but she is paramount to everything that we do on the field. Without Sin, we're not where we are today. Her assists production from the wing is amazing, and obviously getting second team all conference. She's broken the assist record. She was the highest assist within the conference, and I've got no doubt she'll continue to do that, and next year will be another amazing year. Our centre forwards may not get the accolades that they deserve in terms of what they give to the game and drawing players in and allowing us to build up. They're not players that, E and Kristen done that job this year predominantly. They're not players running in behind, but they're players checking into the feet. She's the one who got on the ball and gave Mari for the game-winning goal against Aiken. So there's so many other people, and you got the midfield. Molly done an amazing job. Anna coming in as a freshman was, truly amazing, and was a revelation in the middle of the field. And Adrian, the back line again done a great job. Lee's going to be graduating.
And then Royal Met, absolutely tremendous and consistent performer in between the pipes.
Yeah, she's been there for a couple of years, and she's done a great job. And like I always say, though, there's people in front of her. You're going to have the attackers, and the assists and goals are always going to get accolades, and then the keeper is going to get awards. But defenders who are working, tirelessly, and defensive midfielders in front of her doing a job, they're not getting so many awards. But Emily's done great the last couple of years, and I expect her to continue to improve and give us a great senior year.
Why Adriana Martin, all sensational. Kenny Harris, everybody did their job so well. But Jay Harris, congratulations once again. Tremendous season, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in 2024.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
We're right back with more here at USCB All-Access.
Kelly Tours is the leading provider of travel and transportation in the Southeast. Whether providing all-inclusive group packages, educational student adventures, athletic transportation, or simply top-notch charter services, Kelly Tours is here to help. Contact us today to start planning. Give us a call or visit our website for more information on our services.
Welcome back to USCB All-Access. It's getting chilly over here at Okatie Ale House, so made a little bit of a wardrobe change. We are now joined by assistant women's basketball coach here at USCB, Brady Grogden, filling in for Sharon Versyp this week. And Brady, you guys are off to a strong start, picked up another win at home. First year of this debut program. It's great to have you be a part of this. How are you feeling after these first few weeks of the season?
I'm feeling pretty good. Thanks for having me. First off, it's nice to be in front of the bright lights and cameras. I think we feel pretty good. We knew there'd be a learning curve and a process to starting up a new program, getting everybody on the same page. When you're starting from scratch, you really have to establish everything, and that's kind of what we've been doing. But I think overall, we're happy that we're seeing growth. The wins and losses are one thing, but that's not really what we look at. We've never judged success off wins, especially this year. So it's about getting better every day, and I think that's what we're doing. So I'm pleased with it, and I'm definitely loving the weather. I know it's a little chilly, but it's about twice, cut this in half, and that's what it looks like in Ohio. So I'll take this in.
Yeah, we are grateful for that, especially it's getting cold this time of year. Other places around here in the States, but we are always thankful here in the Low Country for milder weather here in November, December. But tell me more about yourself. Tell me more about your journey and how you got here and why you decided to become a Sand Shark.
Sure. I was planning on going into business. I was doing marketing, something in that field, and just got an opportunity to help out with a former boss and friend of mine who got a head coaching job in junior college, and started out just kind of helping out with some computer stuff and film breakdown and scouting and stuff like that, and just absolutely fell in love with it. And I see it pop up every year around the early November. It's a memory from Facebook where after my first game coaching, I was like, yeah, I'm changing my major, I'm changing everything, like this is it, this is what I'm doing. So, I just kind of fell backwards into coaching to start and just fell in love with it. Kind of progressed up through the ranks after I graduated college, and then moved from junior college up to a Division III program as the assistant coach, and then spent a couple years up in Northern Ohio there. And then after Heidelberg University, I kind of thought, I want to move up, find myself in Division II or Division I. Came across Coach Versyp's hiring announcement, and saw the location of the school was somewhere that I always wanted to live, and I saw a coach that I always dreamed of coaching with, and I thought it was too good of an opportunity to pass up. And I reached out, and it just kind of fell into place. I got I got very lucky. I don't know how I ended up here sometimes, but I'm so glad I did.
You made a great choice, and we are fortunate to have you as a part of this program. And you guys are back in the win column, picking up a big victory over Payne, 68-33. Tell me about what stood out back here at the Sand Shark tank, as I could call it. What stood out for you guys coming back here and getting it done?
Sure. We talked about in the days leading up in the coach's office that it was really our first full week of practice with 10 healthy players. We'd been banged up the first few weeks, and so when we finally got a few consecutive practices of a fully healthy team, or mostly healthy team, we really saw the energy shift and kind of the level of excitement in the gym, and just how hard we were able to go and practice and how hard we were able to push them. We really saw all that take a step up. So going into the game, we felt great about that. Payne's a solid team. They do a lot of things that we were concerned about, how we were going to defend certain actions or how things were going to go, and through teaching and through scout and through watching film and stuff like that, I think the girls really stepped up, and they kind of brought that same level of intensity to the game that they had been bringing to practice. Being able to go full 5-on-5 and have subs and stuff in drills, it was rare for us early on. So, we were able to take it to another level, and I think that showed on the court on Saturday, and hopefully, that kind of turned a corner for us, and we can show that going forward as well.
Yeah, your opportunity to build on what you guys did this weekend, but 50% shooting from the field, excellent execution on offense. You guys built a big lead early. Tell me about how you got out of the gates and were able to really get situated on how you do things well in offense.
Sure. We talked about coming out hot, starting right from the tip. I think they did a great job of that. I think part of that was the defensive intensity. I always think that you set the tone early on defense. High-scoring games are fun and exciting and all that, but it's really kind of demoralizing when you can't get the ball in the hoop. And I think that our defense really set the tone for us, and that kind of led to easy buckets. And I think that kind of got us all excited. A couple big plays early on, a couple big turnovers turn into easy buckets. That gets the gym excited, that gets the players excited, and I think that's kind of what you saw. 23 points off turnovers, so excellent defense turned into offense, and that's what we saw early for you guys, getting off to a big lead and holding on. But we're seeing a couple of in and out faces across the lineup. You guys are dealing with a couple of injuries early on, but we've seen some good things from you guys. Bartlett making her first start, doing well on Saturday. Certainly, you don't want to see injuries at any point of the year, but how are you guys adjusting through that process and getting the most out of who you have on the court? Yeah, early on, lost a couple key players and just had to ask other people to step up. We talked about people doing their job and filling in their role. Some people's roles had to change and have continued to change. And one great thing that I've definitely been pleased to see is that they're willing to step into that role and willing to do what we ask of them. And there's a few players that, kind of came in as like, hey, this is what I do. I do A. And we asked them to do A, B, and C. And they adapted so quick. And as a coach, that's so relieving to see them be able to fill those roles and then help the team succeed that way. And so early on, that was a key thing was, hey, some people need to step up, some people need to hit shots, some people need to play defense, some people need to, step into those roles that we're missing. And then as we slowly brought players back to where we're at now, some of those roles, we just got a nice boost to it. There were some shooters that, we lost a shooter in Bart, like you mentioned. She started on Saturday, but she's one of our better shooters. So missing her early, it was, hey, how are we going to adapt? Who's going to score points? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? And people stepped up, and that's really what you ask of them and what you hope for. And we saw that. Now that we're back to relatively full strength, it's a great opportunity to kind of build on that and just kind of run from there.
Kmart Griffin, 3 for 3 off the bench. Coffee always has been producing at home early on in the season when her number is called. So, it starts at the top, but it's great to see some of the supporting players get some minutes and be productive, which is what you and Coach Versyp want to see. So, talk about those the depth and some of those lower tier players who don't get as many minutes, who are producing and making a difference when the number's called.
Sure. I think that everybody always talks about the star player carrying the team, blah, blah, blah. I think that we have 10 solid basketball players who all contribute in one way or another. Not all of it shows up in the stat sheet. Not all of it shows up in the film. It shows up somewhere. You look at some of our players that weren't playing early on. they're on the sideline drawing up plays. When someone misses something, they're calling things out for me. They're taking notes on their sheet and telling me at halftime, like, hey, I noticed this. Hey, Coach V, I noticed this. So everybody had a role, whether they were on the court or not. People, when they get called into the game and when their number gets called, they've been able to step up, which is awesome. And I think that, it takes all 10 of us, all 12 of us even. We have 2 players that are still out that are contributing every single day in practice and contributing every single day in the game, even if it's something as simple as someone, makes a mistake, gets in foul trouble, comes out of the game, just giving them a high five and saying, hey, you got this. Next time you're in, you got this. So all 12 players contribute, and that's incredible to see. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about people kind of knowing their role and filling that role. There's people that know, I know from high school I was about as far down to the end of the bench as you can get, but that's points on the scoreboard isn't the only role that needs to be filled, and they've done a great job of helping out where they can, and we always ask more of them, and they've been delivering so far.
That's excellent to see, but talk about you guys going on the road and having the opportunity to play at a place like Savannah State and Market Arena, in front of an established team. What did you learn, and what you think you'll take away from the experience of playing at a place like that against a rival across the border?
Yeah, it's a great rivalry game. That'll be really fun going forward. I hope we continue to play that game. And Market Arena was an incredible venue. We went out there on Sunday for a practice and getting prepped in the days leading up, and really just had a great time, in a great venue. As far as Savannah State goes, that's a great team. We knew that going in. Early on, we were hanging with them, and we just kind of ran out of gas, and they started doing some things that we couldn't answer to. That'll happen. I think it was a great test for us as we start to get closer and closer to the Peach Belt Conference, because the kind of teams that we will see there is what we saw with Savannah State at Market. Solid teams that are trying to make tournament runs. And if those are the teams that we want to compete with down the road, we have to be able to play them. So I loved the game personally. I know obviously there was some disappointment in the final result, but you learn from those kind of things, and those are the kind of games that are necessary to get us ready for the Peach Belt, because every single game in the Peach Belt is going to be an absolute fight, so we need to be ready for that.
And that's what these non-conference games are for. You're using that experience and going against these top teams across Division II, you're trying to learn what holes you need to fix, and it's a year-long process to get to that point, so you guys are doing terrific work on that end, but I want to talk about Michaela Primo. She has been sensational and emerging as a top talent out there for the Sand Sharks. Close to a triple-double on Saturday, 10.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Put her in any spot in the court, she's going to perform. How cool has it been to watch her emerge as that go-to threat, not only producing on offense, but being a hard-nosed player defensively as well?
Yeah, someone coming in as a point guard, you always need to have a good connection with them and have good trust in them. And I think that she's, doing a great job of earning that and trying to grow every day. She's constantly asking the right questions and trying to grow and get better. She's the first person in the gym every single morning. She beats me in most days, and there's days where I try to beat her in, and she's already 30 minutes into a shoot-around. So she works hard, and she's done a good job of doing what we're asking her to do on the court. Obviously, there's still some things to grow on. We're always trying to grow and get better. And we talk about, I joke with her about the turnover numbers, like we're getting them down each day. And eventually it's going to be down to a good number that she's happy with, and it's something that she's focusing on. She also is someone that, there's a few players on our team like this that they're constantly hitting me up trying to be like, hey, where's the film at? Have you posted film from practice? Like, I need to watch practice film. Or, hey, can you send me this film? Can you send me that film? So there's someone who likes to study. That's what Michaela is, and that's what we have a bunch of those players on our team, people who like to do the film study and like to do those little things to get better, because if all you're doing is the 2 hours of practice a day, a couple days a week, you're not getting as good as you can be. You got to do the extra stuff outside of practice if you want to reach your full potential. And she's someone that's trying to do that, and I respect that. And luckily, we have a bunch of them on our team that are trying to do that, and that's how we get the team going in the right direction.
We got to see a lot of highlights on Saturday, but the one that stood out for me, a beautiful Shania Rose pass to Kmar Griffin near the end of the first half. What a terrific play, and perfectly executed. Fine backdoor right there to Griffin. She's just take me through that specific play.
Yeah, we talk about people in practice kind of going off script a little bit in terms of not being robotic. You can't always just do, hey, this play, you got to go here, then here, then here. Sometimes you got to freestyle a little bit or hit a read that might not have been there in practice. Shania has that experience. She's a junior who played at a very highly competitive junior college before here. So she's got that experience and got that. She honestly might have the most experience on the team, probably her and Bart. But she sees those things, and she has a background of being more of a guard role in her previous school. She's never really been a back to the basket post player. So she kind of has that vision, has that passing, and that's what came out on that play. And Kmar is someone who always sees those things. She's got a very high basketball IQ, and she knows her shots. She's never trying to do too much. She knows what she can do, and she does it very well. So when she sees that read, and she sees Shania get the ball, and she makes that cut, I have full faith on the sideline, and I know Coach Versyp does as well, that pass is going to be right on time, and that layup is going in the hoop, and that's what you love to see.
Sharon Versyp, well-established name, renowned coach at the highest level, Division I, and you get to work with her. What an amazing opportunity for you. Just elaborate on how cool it's been to work with her.
Absolutely. My previous two head coaches have both been first-time head coaches, and I have absolutely loved the opportunity to kind of grow and see them develop while I'm developing as coaches. And I felt like with this job, one of my big pros that was drawing me to it and really made me want it was her establishment and how, where she's been and what she's accomplished. And I think that any coach would be absolutely lucky to be able to coach under someone like that. And just the things that I'm learning, there's nuggets she throws out casually just in passing that I think she just thinks is like common knowledge stuff. And I'm just like, let me get a pen and write that down. Like, jeez. So it's been awesome, everything from the X's and O's, but more than the X's and O's, the thing I'm noticing that separates great coaches from good coaches is the player management and just the culture that you build. And I don't think there is anyone that I could be learning that from better than I am right now with Coach Versyp.
She's a fantastic head coach to start this program off with, but tell me about the community support. How fun has it been to be a part of this inaugural season and to see the fans showing out that opening night and then again here this weekend? You'll describe how fun it's been to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's things like this that crack me up sometimes because I've never been at a school that I've kind of gotten this reception from in terms of people in the community and people even at the school sometimes. I was here after our game against Payne with a friend of mine, and I think 3 or 4 times people came up and said something to me about the game, and a couple of them I didn't even know or have any idea who they were. But that kind of stuff happens a lot because the community support's been incredible. Whether it's here, whether it's at Publix across the street, or whether it's in the gym, we've had incredible support from the community. People coming out in droves trying to figure out how they can help, if they can volunteer to help with the clock, if they can volunteer to help on game days, or if they can just be in the stands supporting us. And it really shows. From the bench, it's hard for me sometimes to recognize if there's a crowd there. So on Saturday, for example, I really had no conceived idea if there was anybody in the crowd. Like, I just kind of focused on the court. And after the game, my parents were in town, and they were like, "Man, you guys had a great crowd. Like, I thought you weren't going to have that many come out for Thanksgiving, weekend." And the community, even on a holiday weekend, is all coming out to support us, and that's incredible to see. It gets the girls excited for the games, and it gets me excited for the games.
So you guys got a little bit of a break, during the exam period, but you got 3 games left before the holidays. What do you want to see starting off with Edward Waters?
Yeah, Edward Waters is another solid team. This is going to be a great test for us because it's going to be our first true road experience. Our previous road game was a little different. It was just a day trip. This one's going to be much different in terms of going down the day before, hotel, team meals, film, study hall, all that stuff. So it's a great test before the Peach Belt starts of how the girls respond and what do they need to focus on those game days, because it's tough sometimes to get off the bus and go play a great team, and that's what we're doing on Thursday. And I think between Thursday and the last couple games that we have before we start getting into conference play, we're just trying to see people get better every day, and I can't say it enough.
Ernie Grogan, assistant coach of the USCB women's basketball squad. Ernie, pleasure to talk with you today. Congratulations on a strong start to the year, and look forward to continuing hearing from you in the weeks to come.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Brady. We'll be right back, and we'll hear from men's basketball head coach Ron Fudala after this short break. You're watching USCB All-Access.
The Loco Media Network is the place to keep up with local sports news across the South Carolina Lowcountry and subscribe to all your favorite shows. From the Loco Sports Lowdown at Loco Pigskin Live to the Loco Hoops Report at USCB All-Access. Plus new shows like Red's Barbershop, where NYC and Syracuse hoops legend Tony Red Bruin opens up his Rolodex and talks hoops with stars past and present, like Sam Perkins and Jay Billis. And Under the Bus, featuring hilarious banter on the biggest stories in sports from Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick, former ESPN SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, and legendary Hilton Head Prep basketball coach Rich Basirico. Find them all on the Loco Media YouTube channel or at locosports.com. Go Loco!
Welcome back to USCB All Access. I'm Wes Kerr. We'd like to thank our tremendous sponsors who help make this program possible. Buford Reynolds, Mickelson Law Firm, Meg's Mobile Hydration, Candlewood Suites, Dustin Arnold Realty, and AtWorks. Thank you all for your amazing support of USCB Athletics. And we are joined now by the men's head basketball coach here at USCB, Ron Fudala. Ron, it's great to be with you again. Happy holidays, and let's just start about talking about this past week. How was Thanksgiving for you?
Wes, it was awesome. It was awesome. I'm freezing right now. I'm soft. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I should be used to this cold, but I'm not because I've been down here for a year. But my holiday was great. How about yours?
Oh, it was fantastic. We ate a lot of turkey, and then on Saturday, you got to see you guys getting back in the win column. Excellent victory, 94-81 against Payne. Good to see you all back over at your home arena at the Shark Tank and taking care of business. It was a challenge at times, but you guys came out on top with the win. Just take me through what you saw from this team back home and picking up the victory.
Wes, just appreciative of the efforts of the men, appreciative of their efforts. We played well. We shared the ball. We played as a team. We played hard defense. We got back to our standard. And it's nothing that we did other than playing hard and playing our standard and the men putting in the efforts.
Well, it's been a busy week for you because you guys got to play an in-market arena against Savannah State, and you guys gave them a heck of a test. Had a 9-point lead at halftime. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it going in the second, but an excellent effort against a very, very good and well-coached Savannah State team. Just your thoughts on how the guys how you approached it, and how they performed.
Well, first of all, credit to Savannah State. I mean, they played an amazing game. They were well coached. They had a great game plan. They executed that game plan, and they came out victorious. But I'm proud of the efforts of our men. I think we played a good game. We played good enough to win. Some of our shots don't fall, and some of their shots fall, and that's how the game of basketball goes. I couldn't be prouder of our effort there at Savannah State, and I'm just thankful for the venue, the arena, everything. I think it's great for this community. Getting a rivalry going.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Coach Horst does a great job down there at Savannah State. I gotta get better. It's not the players. It was me. I got to prepare our guys better, and hopefully next year we'll have a different outcome. But if not, we're either going to win or we're going to learn. We're going to do one of the two things. So I think it's great for the community. I'm excited to be a part of it.
What did you learn in this first ever opportunity to go up against a rival like this in Savannah and display a strong effort against that Savannah State team?
We learned it's not just one person, it's not just one coach, it's everybody. We got to have a team effort if we want to come out victorious. So that's mainly what we learned, and we learned we don't blink in moments. In certain moments, whether we're up 10, we're down 10, we got to keep a continuous effort, and I got to keep a continuous approach to the plays we're drawing up, to what we're telling the young men to do it, and the preparation of it too, Wes. I got to prepare our guys better. I got to do a better job of preparing our guys to be in those moments, and we'll get better. I promise you, we'll get better, and I'm excited to take on that challenge.
And we saw a great showing back. I know, as we alluded to, very efficient from the three-point mark, 38.7% shooting, and I think the passing, setting up those good looks from the outside, really, was the spark for you guys to stay hot from deep. So, just describe how you were able to execute an offense early and build that separation on the scoreboard.
I tell our guys sometimes it's a shot maker's game. It's a shot maker's game. So sometimes our shots aren't going to fall. So that's where we have to pick up our defensive effort. But the men they played as a team. They shared the ball, and it's nothing special. It's not X's and O's. It's nothing that I did. I just think we shared the ball in certain moments. We penetrated when we could, and we passed when we should. And the men made the plays that they needed to secure victory.
Well, you are very noticeable for mixing up the roster a couple times on the court and making a couple of big line changes throughout a game. But we saw Larry Bullock and Dylan Lewis really excel as starters. Lewis with 6 assists. So, tell me about what you saw from them really helping set the tone to get you guys out to an advantage.
I love them. I think they're mature beyond their years. I think they're selfless. I think their heart is in the right place. That's what's most important for our program. If your heart's in the right place and you put forth the effort, your talent will showcase itself on the floor, and that's what those two guys do. But that's what all of our guys do, Wes. It's a team effort for our guys, and I think we're really coming together as a group. And I think we can continue to work on it. But you talk about Dylan and Larry and all of the freshmen and all the players on our team. I think they're all buying in, and I'm excited to continue to grow as a team.
Well, we meant to talk about this a little bit last week, but Kobe Shuri, he has become an instant fan favorite. Tell me more about his story and how you were able to get him here to USCB.
You know what? Kobe's a great young man. I love having Kobe in the program. He's an instant energy guy off the bench. He might get into, you never know. I love to let his talent showcase itself. But there's no recruiting secret. I watch videos of guys, and you build relationships. Everything in life is relationship driven. I build relationships. I get sent videos. I see certain things on film that I like, and I loved Kobe, and now here he is. It's nothing special that I did. It's just he was perfect for the way we play, and the perfect person to be in our program, and I'm blessed that he's a part of it.
It was a tight one for a good part of it on Saturday. Payne made it a little interesting, kept it kind of within 10 points, 11 points. So you guys had to work to close it out. But how do you stay focused, stay consistent, especially in offense, and find your points to make big stops and then execute on the other end?
We call it a relentless approach, Wes. It's a relentless approach in all circumstances. It's next play mentality. It's relentless approach, regardless of circumstance. How are you acting? How are you performing? Whether you make a mistake or you miss a shot or you make a shot, we got to keep a consistent approach, and that's all it was. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything I did, Wes. It was just a relentless approach that enabled us to that victory.
Well, you mentioned and give credit to the team for what they're doing, and it's been great to see a couple of those guys really step up. It's an interesting circumstance because you're opening this season for this first program, or this first year of this new program here for USCB. And sometimes it takes a while to really establish and build leadership, but I think you guys are doing that from the jump this year. So just tell me about some of the guys who have really taken the issue both in practice and during games to assert themselves as leaders and example setters in this program.
Appreciate that. The leadership it's part of the recruitment process, Wes. I want to recruit leaders. And just on our team, We voted on captains about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and Dylan Lewis and Kyle Pulse and Kevon Price were voted our captains almost unanimously by everybody on their team. So that speaks a lot about their character, but it also speaks a lot about the character of the rest of the young men in the group, because they realize those leadership qualities. So that's special for us, and that's special for them. And I talk about, we got to have leaders that are beyond their years. We got to have coaches that are beyond their years, and that's what we've done, Wes. It's part of the recruitment process. It's part of just being a great person, playing as hard as you can in practice. All the things we talk about, regardless of circumstance. How are you acting? How are you performing? And let your talent showcase. Wes, I love to let guys let their talent showcase. I have no talent, but they do, and I like to let them showcase that.
That's the fun part, seeing them do their thing and bringing the house down with those dunks and those big time 3-pointers, and then playing that tight defense, hard nose, defensive intensity. I mean, that's what we love to see as fans, and what I love to see as a reporter and a journalist here. So you guys are doing a terrific job, but you said it takes coaches well beyond their years, and you have a strong assortment of them on your staff. So just tell me about people in your corner who have helped you do your job well.
Well, Wes, here's the thing. We got the best coaching staff in America. There's no doubt about it. I think one of the staples against Payne was we executed out of timeouts, and I didn't draw up any of those plays. That was all Coach Luke Dyer, Coach Jalen Flowers. They're the ones that are, I call it being in the mud. They're in the mud every day, and they're evaluating, and they're around the guys. And those are the ones that drew up the plays. They drew up the plays, and I just showed the board to the guys, and the guys executed. So that's what they bring to the table, and they just bring a certain swagger and a certain personality that helps our guys, grow and learn, and they lift me up every day, Wes, and that's what it's all about. That they lift me up, they lift our guys up. Your strength in your team is in your captains, in your assistant coaches, and in everybody buying in. And I couldn't be in my position without them.
And you've done a good job giving all your players their deserved minutes, and you put a bunch of different groups out there on the court and seeing what works. How do you manage that, especially early on in the season? You're playing these non-conference games, you're trying to build for conference play. How do you kind of manage that sense of substitutions and getting everyone their due minutes?
Wes, I don't think I manage it. I think our coaches manage it. I ask them for their input, and that's what I do. I trust their opinion. And their opinion is valuable, and it works. And our staple is just, Wes, can you play as hard as you can for the amount of minutes you're in? Whether you're in for 30 seconds or a minute, the max you're going to be in is 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So if you play as hard as you can for the amount of time you're in, that's really all we care about. That's our culture, and that's our staple, and that's our standard. And Coach Luke and Coach Flo, they do a great job of managing that. I don't manage it, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say it, that I think I got the answers, because I don't. It's those guys.
Well, it's been a great start for you guys, but also for the women's team. How cool has it been to see Sharon Versyp and that women's squad doing their thing?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I just like for the school and for the atmosphere. I mean, you get 2 great games for the price of one. You get to see, a legendary coach, a legendary, knowledge of basketball every single game, and then you come and the students support it. It's just fantastic. It's more so it's about building family, Wes. I mean, I couldn't be more excited for our SID, Bracken Lambert, and all the coaches. We're legitimate family. I called Bracken after the game, and I was like, dude, I'm so blessed to work with you, because you have our back. And we talk about that in our program meeting. We all got to have each other's back in all circumstances, and that's what our athletic department's about, and all the student athletes from all the sports come out and support, and that's really what it's about, building family and build culture.
Bracken Lambert doing an excellent job as our SID. Can't thank him enough. Keep doing your thing, my man. But you're from north. You're from Pennsylvania, around that area. So how fun has it been to be here in the Low Country?
The Low Country is awesome. This low country vibe and swagger, and it's just, I love it. I love being here. I love you know what, Wes? People are nicer here than they are up north. I'll be honest with you, they are.
It's that Southern hospitality.
People are nicer. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll stick to my Pittsburgh roots, but people are nicer. People are genuine. Maybe because, you know, we take our time with things, and that's okay, but people are nice and loving and caring, and man, I'm just so blessed for the support even in the first year. People are loving on our guys. People are loving on, you know, our program, and that's what it's about.
You guys got a little bit of a break as your team finishes up their semester. How do you approach this period as you get ready for a big road test against Edward Waters?
Yeah, they're good. They're gonna throw some punches at us. I hope we can respond. I hope that we can bring our energy on the road. You know, we don't have, you know, the support of our fans, you know, when we go on the road, and I think our players build off of that. So we got to bring our own energy, and I think we're up for the challenge, and I'm excited for it.
I can't wait to see how you guys fare over there, and you know, getting ready for just a couple more games. You know, conference season is coming up, but before you know it, in January, heading into December, so just three or so games left before, you know, it really starts to get into the meat of the schedule. So, you know, what do you want to see from today until then, as you guys continue to work hard and practice and show yourself throughout the games on the schedule as you prepare for January?
I want to just see everybody get a little bit better. I want to get a little bit better as a coach. I want our assistant coaches to get a little bit better. I want our players to get a little bit better. I want our fans to get a little bit better. I want everybody to just get a little bit better, and we'll be just fine.
Ron Fudala, head basketball coach, USCB men's squad, very first season. It's been great to get to know you and watch you guys play, and excited to get back out there to USCB in a couple of days to see the season continue.
I'm excited to have you, Wes. Hopefully we can make it happen.
Thank you, Coach Ron, and thanks to all of you for joining us for another episode of USCB All Access. And until next time, fins up!